Can you
This guy already?
jump?
Thank you very much. Today I'm going to be showing you brand new ways that you probably didn't know Flashback could be used, and also an updated tutorial. First, let's go into settings. We go click this button here, then this button down here, and you can change the settings over here. I recommend turning on automatically start so you don't forget to start recording, because I tend to do that a lot. You can always cancel the recording if you don't actually mean to have recorded it, and it'll automatically delete it, so it's not too big of a deal. I also recommend turning on record voice chat if you have simple voice chat installed, because of what we're going to be talking about later in this video. Some other interesting settings is first person updates. If you wanted to more accurately track your character in first person, you can crank this all the way up to 120. And also record hotbar, so if you ever do first person stuff, you can have the hotbar and it doesn't look like a little bit weird. I mostly have this on, so if I'm playing on a server and my friend says something really stupid, I can clip it and still have it look like it's first person, even though it is in fact flashback. Okay, as you can see, my recording has automatically started. If you don't have it, then this is where you can start it by pressing the big button that's here. Alternatively, if you like commands, you can always do /flashback start and it will start the recording. Similarly, when you get to a point in the recording where you're like, oh, I want to make sure that this gets saved, flashback mark. And then you can put even a color. I personally like just going with gold, and whether you want to save the position or not. And you can give it a description, standing on a tree. It does have EmoCraft support if you have the mod installed. Now that you've gotten your recording done, you can now hop out of the world. You should get a dialogue like this for you to save your recording if you didn't already save it. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Flashback Tutorial because that's what this is. And we'll save replay. Now when you go into the flashback button from earlier, you'll notice it's right there. Okay, so now you're inside your flashback editor. So you notice that you can quickly move around the scene, and you'll also notice that you have this kind of timeline looking thing. So you'll notice if you look up here, you'll notice your colored markers, like standing on a tree, which I put earlier. Let's go here. Hello, it is me, standing on a tree. And we can have me jumping and pointing out stuff. If we want to just quickly render an export of this specific scene, we can press I on the keyboard and O for your in and out points. Add a camera element here, and it zooms out, does like a whips zoom out to show off the big world behind me. Like so. We get a wham. Let's say you want it to be even more dramatic of an effect than that. Okay, we go FOV keyframe. We put a FOV keyframe here. Let's make it a bit tighter, so it's like a 25, 35, and then make it so when we zoom out, it goes up to 70. Yeah, that seems good. And now you'll have this kind of effect. I want to make it so it stays locked in on me a bit earlier. Control C, Control V to paste in your keyframes. So now it's nice and in, and then you've got a nice zoom out effect. Let's say I don't want the name tag because I want to keep the visuals nice and concise and not zoomed in. We can remove name tag or even change it to something else like me. Additionally, when this right click menu, you can spectate. You can forcibly look at said entity to make it so it's nice and centered. It'll be centered around the head. You have other options like set audio source. So when you render, the audio will be coming out from wherever the character model is. You can also change the skin by putting a player's UUID, which has the skin that you want equipped, or you can upload a skin from the file. Let's move back over to the EmoCraft to show EmoCraft. Again, go to player list, TP to RedLife, and let's see. There we go. Me doing a backflip. Let's go, it's me. Now I want to give a small mod spotlight to a mod called Lucidity, which is fully flashback compatible. First, you can press F3 and F4 to switch to creative mode, or just type in /game mode creative. Now you can pull out a breeze rod with this mod, and you can select 2 points. I'm going to make it so, let's choose point A, and let's just go up here, and point B. We can now do switch rendering mode. We set the right rendering mode. There we go. Now you'll have a nice slice of the world. And if you go to F12, which is Lucidity settings, you can change the coordinates. I kind of want to make it so it shows a bigger slice, so I want to make it so this goes deeper from 71. I want to change it to like -30. And now we have a slice of the world, which could be really useful if you want to get like a third-person shot of someone like mining. So if he was here instead and he was like mining a strip mine, it could be nice to get a strip mine kind of shot. And it's also useful for redstone because it allows you to like segment parts of your redstone contraption and allow you to freely move around it nicely. And now this is the perfect time to talk about these entities in the background. While you can remove all other entities by pressing this render entities button over here, it's okay, it works, but what if I want the chickens but I don't want the cows? Or what if there's some entity inside of this segment that I'm trying to render? Well, fear not. You can click render filter up here, and you'll get this menu right here. If we go to entities, you can search up cow and turn it off, and chicken and leave it on. And as you can see, the chickens are still there. Now they're gone. Additionally, you can just turn off block rendering altogether and turn off sky rendering so you can get a green screen version of pretty much anything. This is surprisingly useful because you can use it for various editing things and compositing. So you can make it so, oh, you want to add some After Effects, you want to make it so particles go behind the player model, or you want to make some kind of effect that go text behind the player model. You can easily do that using this green screen filter. Okay, let's say you finally finished your video. Let's talk about rendering. Let's say I want to render from that point to that point, which is the in and out that I said earlier in this video. Once we press export video, you'll get a pop-up that looks something like this. It'll say what your resolution you want it to be. I think 1080p works really well for me. 1080p 60 FPS. I recommend turning on reset RNG and no GUI. If you're doing first person, I do recommend keeping no GUI on. And record audio. I quickly want to turn on some shaders, so let me do that first, because I want it to look cool when I export it, you know? Since I'm using Complementary Reimagined, which has depth of field support, I'm going to turn on depth of field. Now when I back and zoomed in, you'll notice that there's nice blur in the background. And let's start export. And now this is what we came up with from that short little demonstration. Alright, so I've popped into a recording that I had on an SMP I'm playing on. And as you can see, there are a lot of people and...
Here?
Come here.
There's a lot of people talking.
Hold on. Let me just sleep real quick.
Hey, what's up, Permsy?
Make sure everyone's spawn is set.
And for people that are editing, you probably know how annoying it is if you want to segment one singular person's voice out from everyone else's here, especially if it's like someone that's quite quiet and not very loud, or you just want to mute someone that's being really loud and you don't want to deal with it. So if we go into adjust volumes, you can turn down any specific person, like get this guy out, and you can just have Syfy.
Hey, Atomic.
Yeah, I'm also gonna die a lot.
And now you just have Syfy and me talking. A good example of where you could use this is, for instance, in this King of the Hill event.
3, 2, 1, stop!
You couldn't actually hear the original host because of how many people were screaming at the end of this event. So I decided to just isolate his audio, and now you have this beautifully sounding good clip. And that's it for this video. What you're currently seeing in the background is some features I didn't actually mention, such as the time-lapse speed and also time of day keyframes. But honestly, I've never used them, so make sure to tag me if you make anything cool with this. I'd love to see it, and subscribe.